Who is your role model and why?
Elvis Presley. There was a class project, I believe, in the second or third grade, and you had to choose somebody famous, and I chose him. And no, my parents or grandparents did not listen to him, and learned about him. And I did a little skit in the classroom. And as I grew older and in my teenage years, I learned to love his music and started reading about him and learning about his home, Graceland, and made my mom take me to Memphis as I was 15 or 16. And what I really loved about Elvis Presley and what I still think stands today in this subculture is that he broke the mold on so many different cultures. For back in the 50s, for how he dressed like an African American man, and that was very frowned upon. They did not appreciate his type of wiggling that he did, so they would shoot him from the waist up. But as we all know, Elvis still did his thing and continued to break records and break that mold. And I think since Elvis Presley, there hasn't been anybody that has come close to that type of stature at all. So when role model, it was Elvis Presley. And I'm sure I will get comments, oh, well, his drugs and all this. And no one's a saint. A human being is not a saint. But what he did for America and for music, for rock and roll, if you look old interviews up by Paul McCartney, the Beatles, Rolling Stones, the Doors, and kind of go back to that era, and even today you look at Bruno Mars and this culture, it was Elvis Presley that they look up to. And he did stuff with such, and I can just keep going on about him. He had manners, and he treated everybody with great respect and their title, and I just really admired that. And the more I learn about him, the more I still admire still to this day as I'm almost turning 30.
What skills would you like to master?
That could be a long list or a really short list. I will kind of stick with probably music. I've always been fond of music. I love music. It's like my therapy. It's my meditation. I've always wanted to learn how to play the drums or the piano. But I think it'd have to be I want to master the drums. I want to rock out.
Okay. Who's your go-to band or artist when you can't decide on who you want to listen to?
That could change a lot, but James Taylor. James Taylor would probably be my go-to band, or 70s like folk music would be my go-to gene, and then artist would be James Taylor.
Where would you spend all your time if you could?
I would want to spend it at the beach. I love the ocean. I love the waves. I think you can get so much clarity, peacefulness, and just reset yourself. And for me, living with MS, I think it's important for people to take that time. And my time would probably be the ocean. And what you're thinking, well, you live in Missouri. That's like right in the middle of the United States. And I know, I'm working on it. But yes, the ocean.